Well, hey, everybody, here we are in Zoom world. And, this is a video production class. And just when you think that you've had enough with trying to troubleshoot Zoom, I thought that I would show you one of my students' Zoom setups and everything that he can do, both audio, video wise. So some of you may already have him in class. Um, I want to introduce Sam Scott to you. Um, so Sam has been in the video production class for 4 years. And you can probably just tell by my microphone and stuff, I'm running through a studio and stuff. But Sam is the only other student I have who has got a full-fledged studio going on for his Zoom. So Sam, I'm going to turn this over to you. And why don't you do a little bit of a demonstration here and show us your studio. Is that cool?
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
So I have two main pieces of software here. We can see that neither of them are pulled up, and I just have a very nice looking blank screen. So I run, as I mentioned too, first one we're going to show off is OBS, Open Broadcast Software. I run version 25.0.8. So if we do this, we can see that this is what's capturing my webcam feed, the raw webcam feed, not the Zoom with the virtual background, so you can see the pigsty that is this back here. And what OBS does is it lets me either live stream to stuff like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever else, or it either lets me do that, or it lets me record, or in this case, it lets me act as a virtual camera, so I can so I can change things around, which I'll show off in just a second. So I have a few different scenes here, and scenes are just, different settings. So scene one could be one screen, scene two could be a different scene 3 could be a different screen or software, whatever else. So scene one is just OBS. We can see that we have a infinite line of OBS over here, and if I were to change it around, it's just capturing my main desktop monitor. So, and as you can see by the fact that I'm no longer showing up on the Zoom camera, that's because this acts as my actual feed to Zoom, so it's gonna get screwy for a second. Next one is predictably, see what I mean? Is predictably screwed. So this is the Sam broke it screen. If I broke something, I am not be able to listen or be on camera. This is the screen that will be pulled up, and it'll just say, I'm working on it. Just give me a second. Slideshow is this aforementioned slideshow, just without the screwed images and text on it. Cam is my raw webcam feed. In full screen, I can move it around, I could downscale, I can do whatever I want. I have disappeared. Okay. So then we have Cam plus Slideshow. This is my camera in the bottom right hand corner and the slideshow right here. Pretty predictable. Then we have Cam plus Screen 1, which is what has my feed over here, this UR screen sharing thing, and all my desktop icons that usually sit over on the main screen. It's usually the main screen, but I had to swap things around for a different recording a few weeks back. Black screen is predictably a black screen in case I wanted my feed to go dark, save on processing power. Here you go. Disclaimer is Sam is still here. He just has his camera off. I will use this. This is over a still, not a slideshow. I will use this if I'm doing something off camera. I'll still be able to listen. I just won't be able to. I'm not on camera because I'm like doing this or doing that, and I don't want to distract from the meeting. So that's what that's for. Still is just this still without the text on it. And Chrome was meant to capture Google Chrome as a source, but it doesn't. So it's redundant and it's another black screen, which I've been meaning to get rid of. So that's OBS for you. These two are audio mixers for if I stream or record, but that's not relevant for Zoom. What is relevant for my audio for Zoom is a different piece of software. Let's bring my camera back. This different piece of software is Voice Meter Potato. I don't know why it's called Potato. Please don't ask me. So this looks fairly complicated, and it kind of is, but I can explain it fairly easily. So going left to right, we have, and I can't resize this, by the way, it's stuck at this resolution. We have 5 hardware inputs. So these are things that actually plug into my computer, or software that acts like a hardware input and like confuses my computer and thinking it's plugging into my computer. It's confusing. So hardware input 1 is my microphone. This is my G430, which is my headset. So this is this microphone right here. Hardware input 2, that is a line in. There's a reason that this is hardly showing up, because the soundboard it's attached to, and thus the soundboard that this microphone's attached to, which I know my my virtual background's messing with, is not plugged in. But I will use that if I have actual high quality recording that this microphone simply does not um, serve for. Like if I'm doing voice acting or whatever else, this is the microphone I will use, and that's the input I will use. Hardware input 3. This is a software that acts like a hardware input. This is NVIDIA RTX Voice, a very, very nice piece of software, which basically takes the power of my GPU, because I have a fairly powerful one, and it acts as a noise filter. I have a 3-speed 20-inch box fan right here off to the side. I could literally, I'm not going to because the cables are all messed up, but I could literally put this into, like, turn it on to max speed, put it next to my face, and you would not be able to tell it there. Like, it would not sound like there was a fan blowing straight into my microphone. That's how good it is. And 4 and 5 are, don't use them. Virtual inputs are software inputs. So number 3 is actually Zoom. So if I'm in a Zoom meeting, people are starting to irritate me, I can literally just do this or this and just mute Zoom. So Zoom goes through VIO3, because that's what I tell it to. Sometimes you still have a mute button for Zoom. It has saved my ears once or twice. Voice meter aux, which is just auxiliary, means it's, I don't know what I use this for. It's a redundant. It's a backup in case I have a piece of software that can't go through 1 or can't go through 3. It goes through 2. It acts as a backup. And I know it says Discord's over all 3. Discord does that. Discord goes through number 1. I'm pretty sure anyway. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, Discord and most of my voice comms go through number 2. So that's what number 2 is for. Number 1 is everything else. Almost every other piece of software defaults to number 1, because that's my desktop default. So if I start playing a song over here, which you won't be able to hear yet, you can see that the light here, or not the light, the monitor flickers up, and I can hear it in my headset. You can't hear yet because it's not filtering to my microphone. And so yeah, that's what these 3 do. They're just virtual inputs for software. And before you ask why RTX Voice doesn't go through here, it's because RTX Voice acts as a microphone, and not as something for me to listen to. It's something I'm sending out to the system, not something that the system is sending into my headphones, if that makes sense. So then we have these 8 over here. These are hardware and software outputs. So these first 5 are hardware outputs. I only have 1 active, and that's my headset right here. Number 2, I have used before. It's not bound to anything, but number 2 is my monitor speaker. So I have 2. Let's see if I can get. Yeah, the cable's too short, but I have 2 monitor speakers right here that I rarely use for various projects. And if I were to plug those in, you can see I haven't used them in a while because I haven't even reprogrammed it. But I would plug those in. That would be hardware output 2. 3, 4, 5 are just spare. I don't use them. Simple as that. Up here, we have a recording thing that I also never use. And then these 3 are what's important for Zoom. So we have, these are virtual outputs, 1, 2, 3. So these act as microphones. So for example, you can see that this one's going in tune with my voice, and this one over here, this is what Zoom feeds through. This is actually what all of my microphone outputs go to. So say for Discord, Skype, Zoom, whatever else, my microphone will feed through into number 3, or anything else I want to go into that meeting will go into number 3, and then output over to Zoom or whatever else. Then we have number 2. Number 2, much like the Discord, much like auxiliary 2, is meaningless. Or rather, not meaningless. It is a spare. It is there in case I need it. It is sometimes I have games or software that require a different that require a different comm channel. Like it requires my mic to go through a different channel than number 3, and that's what that's typically used for. Number 1 is my desktop audio. So if we turn on the music again, it's going through 2 again. We can just we can turn that off. But it's going through 1. So this would feed into, say, OBS or whatever else if I'm doing a live stream, if I'm doing recording. So this is how people who are watching me can hear my audio. And this is how, if I choose to, we're going to play this song again, I can go here, click B3. So that's B3 is the output. Yeah. So you can hear whatever music I'm playing through If it was playing through two, I would just, instead of two, or instead of using VIO1, I would use VIO2 and hit B3, etc. Feedback loop, and those hurt a lot. So yeah, and in A1 through 5, those are the hardware outputs. So these toggles just determine what goes where, what audio goes to what channel. So as you saw, I can just set B3 and it will feed music into B3 or whatever other desktop audio I have. So yeah, that is my general setup, and that's about it. That's all I got. Thank you. You've it back to Mr. Chevalier.
Well, thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Okay, so the next time you have trouble tuning on your Zoom camera, okay, be glad that you don't have to deal with all of the stuff that us audio and video geeks like to mess with. Okay, so hey, that's it for now. Hope you all are doing well, and we out.